What a show of resilience India equity markets are turning out to be. I mean, look at the kind of backdrop and the landscape that we came into trade with. Overnight, you had that much talked about outage for the first time since 2008, and as long as 6 hours on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as WhatsApp. While they may have sort of dampened all the social media and communications across the globe, that also brought about a big shake-off for US equity markets, which were down and out. You had a 3% loss coming in for Nasdaq. You had the S&P and the Dow as well, which cracked quite hard. And to add to that, Mark Zuckerberg himself, the founder of Facebook, lost about $7 billion to $8 billion in terms of market cap. And that's the kind of net worth erosion that you saw with the kind of crash that you had in Facebook. But that said, Asia as well, when we walked into trade, was actually mirroring up the same sentiment that you had in US equity markets, down and out. So to begin with, the SGX Nifty was actually recovering, was actually indicating that we're going to also have a weak start. But then again, you know, as soon as you had opening bell, we were just mildly in the negative today, much unlike what our global counterparts traded with. You had just about a 0.3% dip to start off trade with, and look at the way that it actually got covered into. And finally, we managed to rebound all of our lost ground, build onto the gains, close in at the session highs. We're just about 70 to 60 odd points away from that 17,900 print on the index, which is the previous record high. That said, we closed in with a 130-point gain, so it's really indicative of the fact as to how India markets are really resilient amidst even global weakness. That said, the breadth of the market also recovered quite a fair bit. On closing bell, we had 108 stocks actually standing to the advances with just about 90 odd or 74 odd actually to be precise, closing in with losses. Sectorally, while real estate was actually taking a bit of a step back today, the leaders or the big moves really came in from oil and gas. That was really on a tizzy, and leadership also was some of the private banks as well as telecom and textiles, which actually held out very smartly along with chemicals. ONGC, I mean, not to say that ONGC is already not having some strong sessions, but today was a big breakout day. ONGC held out by almost 11% in trade today. You also had a Coal India, other oil sensitives like IOC, which held out very smartly. BPCL was a very smart mover. And even stocks which actually stand to lose in times when oil prices are spiraling up, because a key raw material component for them is actually crude, and oil prices going up dampens their profitability. Asian Paints was actually holding up in the green. Bharti, wherein the rights issue opened today, held out by 2.5%. Reliance as well was a very strong contributor to today's move. And then, of course, you had some of the financials like an SBI Life, like an IndusInd Bank, even TCS, which is due to report its numbers later this week, that also held out by a solid 2% in trade today.